And I'm back with more Miles Edgeworth, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. We have spoken to Sister Bikini, but now it is time to speak to Laurice Deauxnim. Laurice Deauxnim is Larry Butts. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Not saying we'll beat this game this week, but probably mid next week. There's still a few things to go. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm not really sure what to say. Iris, we only have 20 minutes. There are two things which I need to ask you before we reconvene. Alright, I'll help any way I can. First, about that night, you really didn't go to the inner temple, correct? The last witness claims to have met and talked with you in the training hall. Either you or Sister Bikini is lying. Mr. Edgeworth, it's just as you said yesterday. Until the incident occurred, I was in my own room in Hazakura Temple. Very well. The second thing, then. That night, the temple snowmobile was used in the time between the time Sister Bikini returned to the main hall and was there when she witnessed the murder. Sometime between 10:30 and 11 that night. Were you the one who used it? There's only one key for it. The only person who could have used it was me. So it was you. But why? What made you go out on Dusky Bridge? I'm sorry. Damn it. Oh, God! Iris. I can't tell you about it yet. Yet? Not until her safety's confirmed. Her? The safety of the Acolyte. The Acolyte, huh? She must be talking about Maya. Look me in the eye and tell me the truth. Did you kill Laurice Deauxnim? No matter who or what may come, I could never take a life. As I thought, nothing. Very well. It's my job to get the truth. You'll discover this for yourself soon enough. My throat's really scratched up. It's a lot colder these days, so I might not sound great. Court will now reconvene. Miss Von Karma, where is the witness? During the break, a man was detained for suspicious behavior in the gallery. Suspicious behavior? He was sketching something. Very intensely. Dare I ask what the witness was sketching? He drew a terrifying woman, armed with a demonic face and a vicious whip. I can only presume his intention was to capture you! Anyway, it is time to drag this pathetic excuse for an artist before the court. Laurice Deauxnim, I hope you are ready. Get in here! It would seem that whip's going to be plenty more today. Ow! Your sketch is in contempt of this court. Aye! I was just artistically... Ow! You tried to run away from the bailiff, who was trying to hand you your subpoena. Look, I'm nothing but a fledgling artist, training out in the mountains. I'm only down here because I ran out of green paint. Well, to use the technical term, it's Viridian. Larry, this isn't an art store now, is it? I know! I graduated junior high, okay? Look, art is all about working in the field, right? Working in the fields? I presume he wanted to say field work. I hope. And that's it! Thanks, buddy! It's kind of sad that I was able to understand his mangled train wreck of a sentence. I just happened to stop in and found a wonderful new model. Oh. I got nothing to do with this trial. I expect all of your faces to be red when you realize this mistake. Bright red. Just like the blood that trickles down my face when she whips me. Or to use the technical term, crimson light. Ow! Ow! Ow. Stop your pathetic babbling and testify like a man. Please refrain from whipping me. Cross-whipping is as bad as cross-checking. This was all your fault. Testify now! It's too much for me. Can we go now? I was at the bridge and I was at the lodge out in the mountains looking up at the stars at night. I walked to the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see no snowmobile. I didn't see anyone on the bridge that night either. The girl I was waiting for didn't show up. My teacher died on me. I'm all alone now. Aren't I, Edgy? Witness, please refrain from talking directly to the lawyer. I'm just a nobody. Nobody but a small, worthless man. And why wasn't I asked my name and occupation or anything else? Mr. Edgeworth, this man seems to have quite a severe inferiority complex. He's recently been the cause of numerous incidents. I think he's finally realized that for himself. Just how much of a nuisance he has been to other people. Yeah, I'm behind everything, every case. Watch out, okay? Just touching me will make you eternally unhappy. Well, keep him away from Maggie. Let us proceed with the cross-examination. No touching, thank you. We could delve into other details at a later date. Okay, fourth statement. Alright. Larry, I can understand why you might want to throw your old life away. You're pretty pathetic and you cause all sorts of trouble. I'm sorry? But, having realized how much of a nuisance you have been, that could be considered a step in the right direction. You trying to console me? Certainly doesn't sound that way. However, I cannot forgive you for simply turning away from the incidents you create. You're totally pinning this on me. Now then, let's talk about the night of the murder, shall we? Sister Bikini, after seeing the murder take place, asked Phoenix Wright to report it. Thus, he headed for a public phone by the bridge. There, he happened across a certain nefarious individual. You, Larry Butts. That's right, it's me in the flesh. Listen carefully, witness. Doesn't matter if you change your name. So long as you may remain pretty pathetic, you will continue to cause these incidents. That reality won't change. But what do you want me to do? Larry, what you need to do is change your inner self. But for now, what you saw that night. Testifying truthfully about this one issue is all I need from you. Edgy, I think I've finally woken up. Well, I guess I could still be sleeping. But anyway, I'll testify. Well, I'm not sure this will go well. I'll ask again. What did you see on the night of the murder? Okay. Ooh, he's got his game face on. I went to the shack around 9, so it must have been around 10:30. And I was lying under my bedding when a white flash almost blinded me. I looked out the window and Dusky Bridge was on fire! There's still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. That's when I ran into Nick. You certainly saw quite a lot, didn't you? So, what happened to the bridge after it caught fire? It was like me after a 3-day stint chasing a girl. It totally burned out, like almost totally gone. I meant trying to cross the bridge remains is what caused Nick to fall. What did you say? Oh, don't worry. It's nothing life-threatening. He just caught a cold. I never know with that man if he got lucky or unlucky. Please commence your cross-examination. Alright. Alright, fourth statement, option 2. Yeah, my voices are all over the place, because... God damn, it feels like I still have a cold, but I don't, which is really annoying. It's like, early in the morning, my throat is really scratchy, and, ugh, it's just, ugh. Okay, that's... I'm waiting for... Okay, 4. There we go. You said right away, but how exactly long after the strike was that? The lightning fell and the bridge caught on fire, so... 5 minutes? I mean, I suddenly thought, gotta go check this out. How far is this small shack from where you are in the bridge? Pretty much stopped snowing. I guess about 5-minute walk. And how did Dusky Bridge look when you went there? Like I'd recovered a piece of my childhood. I mean, not even the bonfires kids made in school tried to compare. Should I press him a little more? Larry, let me ask you one thing. What is it, Edgy? What's with the serious face? Edgeworth always has a serious face. It's called the whoop face. Why didn't you call anyone? Huh? What do you mean? Normally, when faced with a towering inferno, one would try to call someone. There's a public phone right near Dusky Bridge, correct? Well, of course I was doing that. So, let's hear why you didn't. Okay, reason. It wasn't I was trying to tell anyone, I just didn't have time to. Your very existence being a contradiction. I'm not sure if you can grasp this or not. Hey, Edgy, you're making it sound like I'm sort of an alien. But your testimony is conclusively contradictory. The problem here is time. I've never been the best timekeeper, you know. 3 minutes after Billy leaves on foot, you follow him on your bike. Oh, God, don't do... This is much more simple. You saw the lightning strike Dusky Bridge, and immediately went to see what happened. Is that correct? Yeah, well, I wasted about 5 minutes first, but more or less. The weather data from that night. According to this, the lightning fell at 10:45. You say it took less than 5 minutes from the shack to Dusky Bridge, meaning you probably got there around 11. That all sounds right. And then Nick showed up and he did his falling act. That is impossible. What do you mean? 11 p.m. is when the murder occurred at Hazakura Temple. Thus, Wright was still there in the courtyard. There's no way Larry could have encountered him at Dusky Bridge. Excuse me. I have an objection. You do? Edgy! How many times I gotta say this? I'm not Larry. It has not been proven that the murder occurred at 11. The sister only said around 11. In which case, could have been earlier than that. Watch your footing there, Miss Francisca. The slope ahead is very slippery. There is still no way Wright could have been at Dusky Bridge at 11. And why not? It's clearly written here in the weather data. Took around 30 minutes for the bridge to burn out. Therefore, the bridge must have been burning at least until 11:15. Which means what? Wright did not see the bridge while it was being consumed by flames that night. In fact, he did not arrive on the scene until the flames had died down. Larry, you arrived at the bridge at 11, but Wright did not make it there until 11:15. And I suggest you stop hiding things and just tell us the whole truth. What happened during those missing 15 minutes? feel like I just got brutally woken up by toilet splashback. Ew! I guess I was still sleeping. Order! Ow! So there was a missing 15 minutes prior to meeting Phoenix, right? I hardly see that as such a problem. Yeah, not much of a problem at all. Really? The bridge is burning before your very eyes. There's a phone right next to it. Why, then, did you not report the accident? Yeah, why didn't you? Were you simply there to watch it burn? And therein lies the problem. For even after the bridge was burnt out, he was still there. Staring into space, this witness didn't even attempt to fulfill his civic duty. That's what it sounds like. But this is Larry we're talking about, and even he is incapable of being so stupid. Which means there has to be a reason for this infraction and inaction. Edgy, I think it's about time I got serious with you, dude. Just as I thought you've been playing with us this whole time. Listen, I'm gonna tell you everything. You want to hear it all? Yes. I may really say it this time. Ow! Then say it. Very well, I have a terribly bad feeling about this, but let's have the witness go over the whole truth. No! With this 15-minute gap, what were you doing? Being Larry, which means he was being dumb. I'm a Deauxnim. I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Sketching! In front of the bridge! I was whipped up into a frenzy. The shock and awe I was feeling, I transferred it all directly onto the pages. And before I realized it, flames had gone out and we came rushing up. You were drawing? I suppose artists can be strange. I'm willing to sacrifice everything in order to draw the perfect sketch, including the truth from the sound of it. Has this removed the last of your doubt? Not at all. Only one very large doubt still remains. And what would that be? This is a surprisingly believable story, considering the source. So why did he think he needed to hide it from us till now? I intend to drag that reason out of him. You'll regret this, Edgy. No, I won't. It's only if you're going to have me cross-examine a parrot or a speakerphone. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, second statement, picks option 2. Sketching? The burning bridge? Yeah, the burning bridge and everything that came with it. Came with it? You want to hear this from my lips, don't you, Edgy? You'll regret it. That sketch is... Ow! Enough. Just take this ridiculous sketch of yours out already. What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. It does appear to be the fastest solution. I'll leave it to you, Mr. Edgeworth. What do? Got a terrible feeling that this instant the sketch is revealed, the entire world might be changed on what's depicted there. Larry, would you show us this sketch, please? Well. Even I wouldn't have imagined it would turn out like this. Imagine what? That Laurice Deaunim's debut would have taken place here in this trial. Ow! Show it now! Okay, but yeah. This is the world of Laurice Deauxnim. What the? Well, this is Dusky Bridge, correct? Quite a large bridge, isn't it? Your response? Yes, well, this is a better drawings than I expected. Isn't it? I struggled to reproduce the flames, I really did. I'm sure you did. This is going to get ugly. No one has the courage to bring it up, it seems. This mysterious flying object. Larry! What? The burning bridge is fine. But what is this unfortunate-looking figure? Oh, you spotted that? I thought you might. However much I may want to ignore it, I can't. It's Iris, of course, isn't it? I wish she'd take better care of herself. We had to plan for her future, you know. What would have happened to her if she'd been injured herself flying like that? Larry, please, answer this next question honestly. Okay. Are you really claiming to have seen this? Are you claiming to have seen the silhouette of the defendant flying over a bridge that was engulfed in flames? Yeah, that's what I saw. That's why I drew it. I'm an artist. That girl, she's really high up in this picture. No, what was that for? This is all a bad dream. I was hitting you on the cheek to test the theory. Please whip your own cheek from now on to test your theories. Anyway, no court of law will ever acknowledge that people can fly. Actually, there is some precedent for this. She was flying pretty high, my sweet Iris. It was about 30 feet above the bridge, at least. This has to be some kind of mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, please bring this witness down back to Earth. Me? This witness is your friend, isn't he? Accessory to foolishness. Miles Edgeworth. Let's get back to the cross-examination, by force if necessary. I expect you to expose the obvious contradiction here. Yes. Looks like I've got another reason. What's this moron? Well, what do you think of my debut piece? Get that thing away from me! Hurry up and cross-examine him! Alright, added third statement, Iris is hood. Okay. Larry, what did you really see that night? Not that I particularly care. In your position, that's being irresponsible. I drew exactly what I saw. I'll give you a whole $1 if that's the truth. Ooh, a whole $1. If that's truly the case, then there's one thing we can say for certain. That the person who flew over the bridge could not have been the defendant. What do you mean? I don't understand. Ow! The foolhardily foolish folly of a foolish statement by the equally foolhearted fool. How exactly can you make such a claim? Tell us, Larry. According to this picture, the individual whom you saw was wearing a hood, correct? Of course he was. That run-down shack's quite away from the bridge. Hood is what told me that it was a floating angel, my Iris. The hood is my darling Iris. The Iris is my darling hood. Ow! It seems there are bigger fools in this world than the one on the defense's bench. Larry, there's something you need to be made aware of. On the night of the murder, Iris wasn't wearing her hood. She'd given it to Wright as a gift. Are you going to change your story now? Perhaps you suggest that it was Wright that took the flight. What are you talking about? I think you understand what I meant just fine. Why did Nick have Iris's hood? What? Edgy! What's going on? Why, Nick? You dog! Why do you care? I do believe that this unbelievably mysterious sketch is destined to disappear discreetly and discarded straight into the garbage. What is it now, witness? It feels like I've been waiting 25 years for this day to come. Edgy! Today's the day I get to completely stupefy you! What? What's the meaning of your outburst? I hate to do this, but I have some definitive evidence. Definitive evidence? Iris did indeed come flying over that bridge. And I, Laurice Deauxnim, will prove it. I didn't expect to ask this again, but we'll be needing your testimony. Tell us everything you know concerning the defendant as depicted in this sketch, and show us the evidence that this nightmare was actually real. Okay, I hope you're it, Reggie, Edgy Reggie, because I'm gonna feed you a whopping serving of pain. You've been serving a pain this whole time. When I reached Dusky Bridge, she was already gone. I was so worried. I was frantically searching all over. That's what led me to finding this beautiful crystal sphere, half buried in the snow. I'm sure that Iris was simply wearing a spare hood. After all, no one else could have lost a crystal sphere that night. Oh, shit. This one. It's pretty, isn't it? But finders keepers. That sphere. Where did you find it? Let me see. Around here somewhere? Yeah, it looks about right. It was half buried in the snow. It pretty much stopped snowing by then. But there was some falling as I was walking to the bridge. The court accepts this into evidence. That's mine, okay? I want it back. There's something on it. It's blood! Oh no. You ready, Edgy? By tomorrow morning, you'll be calling me Master Larry. Yeah, I like the sound of that. No one's gonna push me around no more. Didn't you want to be called Laurice Deauxnim for only minutes ago? Third or fifth statement, victims. Larry, that night, there was someone who lost a crystal sphere. There was? Who was the idiot? Miss Laurice Deauxnim, that mentor of a stupid idiot. The victim. I have a photo of her right here. And at the end of her staff, you can see a similar-looking crystal sphere. Hey! That's my photograph! Give it back! A crystal sphere like that could be quite easy to find. I have one just like it in my brooch. They are nothing alike. In any case, take a look at this. This is the victim's staff found at the crime scene. The crystal sphere is gone. Just what does this mean? If anyone jumped or flew across the bridge that night, it certainly wasn't Iris. She was not wearing her hood, and more importantly, the crystal spheres found at the landing site was not hers either. That means the one who flew and dropped the sphere was the victim? A fool alongside another fool, and a fool's errands to reach another foolish conclusion. First of all, this sketch, which I prefer to call a scribble, is ridiculous. People cannot fly, thus it is rejected. You can't do that, I saw it. Ah! And this crystal sphere, this is nothing more than a red herring. You honestly believe that? Give it some thought, and I'm sure you will realize this as well. Miles Edgeworth. Laurice Deauxnim was in her room on the night of the murder. There was no reason for her to go to Dusky Bridge. Therefore, the sphere cannot be related to this case, that is all. Miss Franziska von Karma. The only people who will accept that explanation are scatterbrains and clowns. Why are you pointing at me? The crystal sphere was found near the bridge the night of the murder. Yet you expect us to believe this has nothing to do with the case. The crystal sphere, it was probably thrown away at the bridge after the murder. After the murder, there's blood on the crystal sphere, isn't there? This naturally suggests that it was thrown away after the murder took place. The killer placed it there to throw the investigation off the scent. Which is the exact reason why he drew that ridiculous sketch. What? You mean I'm the killer? No way! All joking aside, when this crystal sphere appeared near the foot of the bridge, unless that can be proven in some way, I refuse to believe that this is related. She makes a valid point. There's no evidence that at least Deauxnim left Hazakura Temple. However, if somehow this crystal sphere can be proven to have been dropped before the victim was killed, then this case is going to transform into something else. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth. I want your final opinion on the disposal of this crystal sphere. If it is not related to this case, then the witness who you've called will have nothing more than being a monumental waste of time. Prepare yourself for some very appropriate punishment, Miles Edgeworth. Can I prove it? Can I prove the crystal sphere was dropped before the murder? Can I prove it? That isn't the issue. To simply prove it, that's the only option. That's what he'd do. That's the way Phoenix Wright would do this. Your Honor, allow me to prove something to you. I will prove that this crystal sphere is a vital link to solving this case. You would what? That look in your eyes. You remind me of Phoenix Wright when he's cornered. That should come as no surprise, because right now I am him, and I am indeed cornered. I order you to present your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Evidence that proves the crystal sphere was dropped before the murder. This crystal sphere was half buried in snow, correct? That's right. If it hadn't been stopped snowing, it would have been game over. That snow would have totally covered it. That's all I needed to hear from you. Your testimony makes one thing quite clear. What's that? When the crystal sphere was dropped, it was snowing. Even if it was ever so slightly. Snowing. On the other hand, let us look at the scene of the murder. As proven earlier today, there is no snow on the victim's body. Therefore, the crystal sphere must have been dropped before the murder. What? Order! On the night of the murder, the victim did indeed go to Dusky Bridge. And there, something occurred that caused the staff's crystal to come loose. What could that have been? This sphere. There's some blood on it, isn't there? Allow me to raise a certain possibility at this junction. The real crime scene was near the foot of Dusky Bridge. The murder didn't take place in Hazakura Temple courtyard. Only a fool would suggest such a foolishly absolute piece of foolishness. Just who is the fool? And which part is so foolish, Miss Von Karma? Have you been paying attention this whole time? Miles Edgeworth? The sister saw everything. She saw the victim being killed by the defendant in the courtyard. That's not exactly true, now is it? To put it more precisely, what she saw was the murder weapon being removed from the body. That's the same thing! No, it isn't. You said it yourself. Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of the blade's insertion. If you want to talk when the most blood would be lost from the body, that would be when it is removed. If that statement is the truth, the Dusky Bridge could very well have been the scene of the murder. The murder weapon was not yet removed, thus no bleeding. You're forgetting one vital thing. Lis Deaunim's body was found in Hazakura Temple. On foot, it takes 15 minutes to travel from Dusky Bridge to Hazakura. You mean to suggest someone carried the body all the way? Then they this far, the only place is to take it to the end. I just need to prove that my version of events is perfectly plausible. If the defense is ready, I'd like to hear an explanation. Please show us the method in which the victim's body was carried. On that snowy night, there is one way that a body could have been moved. The snowmobile. As we know, the snowmobile was used that night. It was explained to have been used to dispose of the murder weapon, but it could have also been used to carry a body. Order! Ow! This is completely unacceptable. You dug yourself your own grave. What do you mean? The only one who could have used that snowmobile was the defendant. She's the one who moved the body. Doesn't that put the final nail in your coffin? You're too late, Francisca. In fact, the defense has proven something else entirely. We have shown that this case requires further investigation. What? Where was the victim really killed? If her body was moved, whatever for? And finally, just what does this image mean? Do you even have to think about that? Such a creature would never say the truth, much alone describe it. This witness certainly sits on one of the lowest possible branches of humanity. However, he would never utter a lie that could hurt a girl with whom he is enamored. He drew this, so it is actually something that happened. The defense stands firm in this point. Eddie, thank you. That settles it then. I cannot give a verdict under these circumstances. Right. I seem to have fulfilled my part in this. It's just as I thought. Francisco von Karma, you make a wonderful partner. Excuse me? There was one reason, and I went for Francisco there. There was one reason, and one reason alone for me being here. To expose the darkness lurking in this case and then pass it along to Wright. What? That's what this was about? You could have just told me from the beginning. Then I wouldn't have had Francie whipping me! Miles Edgeworth, I don't care what you were here to do. This was my chance to finally grind you under my heel! A shame that your chance seems to have slipped you by. What a shame! This is your fault. Such a terrible witness. You're a fool now! Ow! Oh my god, I demand satisfaction! And I think she got it. Ow. I cannot believe that the witness's testimony relates to an actual event. However, there has been some sort of answer to this question it raises. Have his words here today been truth and lies? Next time we gather in this courtroom, those are the matters that will be discussed. I am counting on a thorough investigation by both the defense and prosecution. And with this, the rest is up to you, right? Court is now adjourned. Yay! Alright! Alright. So, we are done with Miles Edgeworth, Ace Attorney, and we'll be going back to Phoenix Wright very soon. Next time.